Episode 3. Now that she knew the name of the new wife, she asked for permission. "Can I leave now?" Mr. Balogun's junior brother, Ibrahim, asked her. "Leave to where?" "Inside, of course," she replied, her voice laced with hypocrisy. "I want to let the children know what their father has done. Or shouldn't I tell them?" Without waiting for a response, she stood up and went into the room. After she left, Mr. Balogun's brothers and sisters continued discussing their plans to visit Faith in the hospital. Mr. Balogun, still feeling sad about the confrontation, mentioned that Faith was supposed to be discharged at 2 p.m., but it was now 3:45 p.m. "I was planning to pick her up, but the meeting prevented me from doing so," he explained. His sister, Hannah, noticed the sadness in his eyes and approached him. He couldn't hold back his tears, saying, "She caused this." "I never planned to have a second wife," Mr. Cunnell asked him. "Brother me, why are you crying? Do you want to continue with what has been going on?" Mr. Ibrahim added, "If Faith hears you saying all this, what do you want her to think?" At the mention of Faith's name, Mr. Balogun wiped away his tears, his love for her evident in his actions. Meanwhile, Mrs. Balogun entered the room and called her 5 children inside. She told them everything that had transpired in the meeting, and they all felt bad, thinking to themselves, "Daddy will neglect us now." Tolu, the eldest, angrily exclaimed, "Mom, you caused all of this. We asked you what Daddy did to change your attitude towards him, and you said nothing. Now look what your attitude has caused." Ruth, the second eldest, agreed, and their mother broke down in tears. Tolu and Ruth left the room angrily, followed by Bolu, the 4th child, who loved her sister Ruth. Sam and Liz remained with their mother. Later, Mr. Balogun and his siblings prepared to visit Faith. They asked Mrs. Balogun if she wanted to join them, and she initially agreed. However, as they were leaving, she thought to herself, "What am I doing? Why am I following them to see the woman who snatched my husband from me?" She changed her mind, saying out loud, "I'm not going again." Mrs. Hannah hissed in disapproval, while Mr. Cunnell simply said, "Suit yourself." When they got to Faith's house, she welcomed them with a warm smile, immediately kneeling down in respect. "She is very pretty," Mrs. Hannah said. "Yes," Mr. Ibrahim nodded, "just as Brother Me has described her to be." They all laughed. Faith stood up, hugged her husband, and asked, "I thought you said you would come pick me up from the hospital?" Mr. Balogun apologized, explaining that something unexpected came up, and he would tell her about it later. Faith's mother and sisters were also present, entertaining Mr. Balogun's siblings and having a great time talking, eating, and drinking. After a while, Mrs. Hannah asked, "Oh, where is our baby?" "We were carried away." The story will continue in episode 4. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.